What's going on, guys? God damn, it's been a long time since I've come back on here and made a video, but you know something, let's get this shit done today. Here we go. What's up, guys? I'm in a good mood today. Alright, so Tigers. Let's talk some fucking Tigers. Woo! Let's call it, they started out in Toronto, took split. Then they go to New York, take the series. Actually, they beat Toronto 3-4. Oh, no, wait, no. They took a split, went into New York, and then took 2 or 3 from New York, come home, lost to Cleveland, and now they've been in Minnesota, and they lost today. Now, I'm not even going to pretend like I watched all these games because I have watched a good chunk of them. I cannot tell you pitch by pitch, inning by inning what's going on. I did go to opening day. That was good. But here we go. Let's talk about the state of the Tigers. Right now, they are hurt. So Jordy Mercer went on the IL today, and he hit a double, I guess, today in Minnesota, and so he's going to be on the shelf for at least 10 days, so that means that our infield depth is going to be tested a little bit, but, they got Nico Goodrum, and they got Alex Gordon. I wish, because Gordon Beckham sucks. Even though Gordon Beckham has had some big hits. He had a homer in New York that won him the game. I think it was the third last game of the series. So he had a homer in New York that won him the game. He had a walk today in the 9th inning that put him on as the potential tying run with 1 out. And, yeah, Josh Harrison, we're going to talk about him too. So, yeah. So Nico Goodrum will get some more, time in the infield. He'll probably play some second. Gordon Beckham, who played a lot of shortstop at when he played for Chicago, I remember coming up. He'll probably get some time at shortstop, and then they still always have Doal Lugo in the farm if they want to go grab him, bring him up to the big leagues. I mean, their infield depth, honestly, is as many fucking infielders as they got. It's not like Mercer has been killing the ball anyways. He's had I think he's probably leading the team in doubles. I don't have Baseball Reference up for Tigers, leaderboards, but he's probably leading the team in doubles because Miguel Cabrera is really yet to hit yet. And Jamer Candelario has been hit and miss. I know Nick is down right now too. He's another injury that the Tigers have are suffering from because he hurt his big toe, I guess, and apparently can't play right now. So the Tigers at one time already this season were in first place, and everyone's like, oh my God, maybe that they were better than we thought, and, Jordan Zimmerman is going to be amazeballs, and Tyson Ross has had a couple of good starts, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. Let's settle this the fuck down right now, and let's start sorting some shit out. First off, Jordan Zimmerman, until proven otherwise, sucks. I don't give a shit what anyone says. I've gotten into arguments with people that, oh, Jordan Zimmerman's back, he's finally been healthy and all up. No, I don't care. In 2016, I was at his very first game as a freaking Tiger. It was opening day, okay? He had an 0.88 ERA in his first month as a Tiger. Guess what? His ERA got as high as 13 that season in a single month. He is not good. He is able to have a flash in the pan start, and he just gets hurt. Back and neck injuries. That's what it is every single year. So you look at his last start. Mind you, he's had 2 really good starts in a row. I'll give him some credit. He had 2 really good starts in a row, and his last time out, he's a freaking dud. But, Jordan Zimmerman's back, blah, blah, blah. Tigers are in first place. No, you guys are giving yourselves this false pretense like they're going to be anything. They're not. Now, I predicted that they would be better than last year. I thought 75 wins for sure or better because there's no way in hell they're losing 98 games this year. They're just not. They're a lot better team than they were last year. Just by depth, Nico Goodrum's second year. Matt Boyd, I think Matt Boyd's the best pitcher in the rotation and prove me wrong until otherwise. You look at the last 2 years. Now, Boyd isn't coming out there and throwing out a sub-3 ERA or anything like that, but if you look at consistency among starts, stretches of consistency over periods of time, starts made, there has been no one better in the Tigers rotation the last 2 years than Matt Boyd. Because Michael Fulmer statistically in glimpses is definitely better than Matt Boyd, yes. But he gets hurt. He's missing the whole year with Tommy John after they told us in spring training that, this little sidelight injury, I remember I was watching a Tiger spring training game and Michael Fulmer was on there lying through his teeth. Oh yeah, my arm feels great. And, this is just a shutdown to work on my lower half mechanics. And, oh yeah, lower half mechanics. And now your arm's getting ripped open because you need Tommy John surgery, so now he can't make 30 starts. And they should have traded him 2 years ago when he had all the years of team control, because now every single time he gets hurt, the Tigers aren't going to keep him in the rebuild, because why would they sign him to an extension, a long-term extension, if he can't even make 30 starts? He should have been a guy that as soon as he had any kind of value, they should have dumped him 2 years ago when he had 4 years of team control left, and he would have been a maximum value coming off his Rookie of the Year campaign, or even his second year when he wasn't bad. So now you're screwed on that one. You're never going to ever gain what Michael Fulmer's original hype was. So Matt Boyd has by far been the best pitcher in the Tigers rotation in the last 2 years. And the guy who could never, my biggest gripe about him always, I've said it a million times on here, is that he could never get lineups out multiple freaking times. Now, Matt Boyd is able to get out lineouts multiple times because his changeup is really good, his curveball is really good, and his fastball command is really improved, and he's got a decent slider now, too. So he's able to keep lefties and righties off of his stuff by, pitching in and out and throwing his slider and curveball. It's like when Max Scherzer first came up with the Tigers. The guy got destroyed by lefties because he could never command his secondary pitches. He was always pitching from behind. He gets a curveball, his changeup really develops, and all of a sudden he's got the slider from hell, and Max Scherzer became a perennial Cy Young winner. It is, and a lot of people don't remember this, but Max Scherzer, it took him forever to complete his first game. He was a guy that always, people were knocking him, well, Max can't go 9, Max can't go 9. It took him a long time to get his first complete game in the big leagues ever. So, and the same with Rick Porcello. I remember when he got his first complete game, and then he goes ahead and tosses 2 complete game shutouts in a row. I think one was against Chicago and one was against Texas. Don't quote me on the year. It might have been 2014. I can't remember. His last really good year because I ended up trading him for Yoenis Cespedes. That offseason, because 15 they would have got Cespedes, I believe. But neither here nor there, Matt Boyd has by far been the best starter. And I don't want to hear anything about how Jordan Zimmerman is back and everything. He's never been here. His whole contract so far has been a dud. He's yet to... If he could make 30 starts this year and give you an ERA of 4.2, 4.3, which is pathetic based off of the money that he's making and what he used to be, okay, I'll live with it. But he's this false pretense, this false hope that Jordan Zimmerman is back when he's never been here. He's had literally like a handful of good starts since 2016. I don't want to hear it. And then same thing with Tyson Ross. Tyson Ross's last start out, he looked like a freaking monster. Honestly, one of the best sliders I've ever seen him throw, and he had a great sinker going. His velocity was good, and today he couldn't find a strike zone. And that's been Tyson Ross's MO since, his freaking days with the Padres. He's never been a guy that could consistently pound the strike zone. And when you're constantly pitching from freaking behind and having to leave stuff over the plate, you're going to get beat up. And that's just how it works. So, Tyson Ross, hopefully he pitches out of his mind and he's Mike Fiers, version 2.0, and they ditch him. And then Matt Moore is already gone. He makes one start and he was really good, and then he makes the second start and he was trash, absolute trash, and he's already gone. He's on the IL, and his injury, they don't even know the extent of if he's going to miss the whole year or not. So Matt Moore's career as a freaking Tiger might be 2 starts. So, whoopee-doo. He's already gone out of there. And then you look at the lineup. Oh my God. They've had like 4 good games where they've got any kind of runs. The opening day game I was honestly surprised when they played KC. I was honestly surprised they scored as many runs as they did because it was cold as shit opening day. Not the coldest Tigers game I've ever been to. I've been to the coldest Tigers game in Tigers history, or Comerica Park history. Was Mike Pelfrey's debut start. I was there, so it wasn't as cold as that, but man, it was cold enough. Cold enough to where over a week later, my sinuses are still draining because Michigan is 38 one day and 68 the other. So, it's messing me up. But, their offense has just been so bad, and I think it just stems because no one is clicking all at once. Jeimer Candelario goes 5 for 6 one day, and then he doesn't get a hit for 4 games. And Miguel Cabrera has yet to really Miguel Cabrera. He had a good series against KC, but that's not really hard when they're throwing out Jacob Junis and Kyle Zimmer's coming out here walking the bases loaded, and guys don't have to swing it. There's no one throwing strikes, so it's not hard to hit against scrub pitching. But you see anything remotely good, like when the Yankees checked out Masahiro Tanaka, and these guys are all whiffing and striking out. And Josh Harrison has been terrible. He's been absolutely atrocious at the top of the lineup. But if you're Gardy, what do? I mean, there's literally there's nowhere to connect these. There's not even a way to piece this lineup together. Nico Goodrum has been pretty good. He's been a bright spot, and he's gotten a hit here and there. And Christian Stewart only hits home runs. He's had a grand slam, and he had the hit in Toronto on opening day, and he had a home run today. But that's all he's doing. He's hitting home runs. He's getting a few walks here and there and whatnot, but he's hitting like 160. You can't put him at the top of the lineup because you need some thump in the middle lineup because you don't got Nick Castellanos. And Nico Goodrum, he had 16 home runs last year, but he's not going to hit you 30. And, you can't exactly bat him third. And Miguel Cabrera hasn't really gotten it going yet. And I'm really surprised because Mickey was really good in spring. His swing looked good in spring. His contact was good in spring. He was hitting some really nice bombs. I don't know if it's weather related because it's been so cold, and he's had so many prior injuries that, maybe it's bugging his bicep or his groin. Who knows? All areas he's injured before. So his eye doesn't look bad at the plate, but his bat speed doesn't look like Miguel Cabrera because in spring training, Miguel Cabrera, you couldn't sneak a fastball past him. Now, I think a big reason why he looked as good as he did in the spring is because he was facing a lot of crap-ass pitchers that weren't going to make the majors, midway through the game where he hits that home run. Although he did have quite a few early home runs. But I don't know. But I'm not so worried about Miggy because he's still drawing walks. He's still got a good eye at the plate. It's like his bat speed's not there yet, and his game speed isn't there yet. So, like today, he had a hit. I was watching in the eighth. He had a hit in the eighth inning off the Twins reliever. I don't remember his name, but he singled it right through the right side off first pitch fastball away, and it would look good. It was a cold day in Minnesota. So, I think the most critical part to this lineup right now is first off, there's the guys that they brought in to help the veterans. Harrison, he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat right now. And now Mercer's gone. So, and you can't rely on Nico Goodrum to be your dude right now. And with especially with no Miggy hitting yet either, and then you don't have Nick Castellanos and Jamer. He's already shown in the year and a half of being a full-time starter that he's very streaky. He's going to be a guy who goes 5 for 6, and then he goes 0 for 8 over the next 2 games, and then maybe 1 for 3, or the walk a game after that. So he's a very streaky kind of hitter, and you don't know what you're going to consistently get out of him yet. So, that hurts. And then you got Dustin Peterson, who can play some defense. I'll give that kid that. He's fast. And he's a good defender, but Jesus Christ. The guy every single time up at the plate looks like he's Tiger Woods with the way he swings. I mean, he's just straight up trying to club the frickin' ball, with this launch angle crap shit. I mean, every single time when he takes the first swing, heck, I don't know if he thinks he's Javier Baez or something like that, but holy fuck, he's had literally 2 hits his entire time he started. He had the 1 hit in New York where he hit a double, which was a go-ahead double, and I think he got a hit opening the day after opening day. I mean, he looks terrible at the plate. He looks lost. And he gets in fastball counts, and he can't hit the fastball. It's like he's going up there, Happy Gilmore in the ball, taking 3 steps to the ball, and then taking a egregiously bad hack and trying to fucking Phil Mickelson the ball, club it out to left field. A pull hit. And I was doing some research on him, and I guess he was a main piece of the trade for the Shelby Miller deal when they traded him to Atlanta. So I don't know why this kid was so highly touted as much as he was. I don't have his minor league numbers in front of me right now, but just solely looking at his at-bats and solely watching the way that he tries to hit the fastball and his approach at the plate, how he opens up and is just consistently trying to club the ball 9,000 feet over the left field fence. I don't like his approach to the plate whatsoever. I don't like his swing. I don't like how uppercutish it is. I don't like it at all. For someone that can move a little bit, I wish he would straighten that swing out and worry more about not trying to launch the ball to get doubles because he has speed, but try to hit the ball through the infield more. Be more Jose Iglesias with your launch angle, not Javier Baez. Because Javi may be able to strike out 30-some% of the time, but that man is clubbing 28 bombs. And you're not going to be that way because Javi can hit the fastball. You can't sneak a piece of cheese by him. He can hit the fastball. He's going to miss, but he's got that bat speed to hit it. Dustin Peterson can't catch up to it. It's like Josh Harrison right now. They were talking about it in the game today. It was a 91-mile-an-hour fastball from Parker, and Josh Harrison was way late on it, and he just doesn't have any vision at the plate right now. He gets up to the plate, and he's in one of those kind of funks that he gets up to the plate, he's 0-2 before he even steps in the box. And his strike zone recognition has been completely crappy. His plate discipline has been completely crappy. The way he chases these egregiously bad pitches because he's in such a funk, and you can tell he's so in his head, is just straight awful. But I just don't know what you can do if you're Ron Gardenhire. I just don't. You got Jacoby Jones back finally because they designated Mikey Matuk for assignment. But we've solved Jacoby Jones before. He's another one, a free swinger that can't even hit 200. So what, with this offense, as bad as it's been, and they've had a couple of games, now the one thing I will say is they've played teams tight. For as bad as this offense has been, their bullpen, besides Joe Jimenez giving up the homer to Rowdy Tellez, another one of those dudes who just swings and hopes he hits at 9,000 yards, their bullpen's been pretty goddamn good. They haven't cost them any games. Shane Green's already got 8 saves. Everyone's pitching out of their mind in that bullpen. It's been really good. Like Alcantara come out today with the bases loaded, 1 out. Gets a huge strikeout on Nelson Cruz, and then gets Eddie Rosario to pop out to center field. So their bullpen's been really surprisingly good. So I'm surprised on that. But their offense is so bad. And I just don't know if you're right. I have no suggestions to even, to tell you guys, hey, maybe they should try this, maybe they should try that. Like when Brad Ausmus was manager, it's like, get fucking Victor Martinez out from behind Miguel Cabrera. You don't need to be there. He sucks. But I don't know. No one is literally hitting at all. And we know what Jacoby Jones does. If that dude could just hit 230 and get on base at league average clip, he'd be insanely valuable. And then you don't have Nick Castellanos right now. He can't play defense. And oh my God, on opening day, he tries throwing a runner out at third before the ball's even in his glove. And Christian Stewart, he has a noodle arm out and left. And he had a big error in New York that allowed Luke Voit to score because he tried throwing out Luke Voit before he had the ball in his glove. And that's another thing. Our outfield defense is bad. Oh my God. I can see why they're running Dustin Peterson out there because they need some kind of solidity in the outfield. When you got Stewart and Castellanos playing your corners, that's awful. I know why they're in there because they need the sticks because no one's hitting. But Jesus criminy, is your corner defense trash. Like when you're Ron Gardenhire, you got to hope everything's hit the center. Now that you got Jacoby Jones back, you're hoping that everything's hit the center. Now having Jacoby Jones back is going to make our corners a little bit better because Jacoby is, such a stallion out there. He's quick. He can get to everything left and right, and he's already shown the ability to save a lot of runs. He's one of the better defensive center fielders in the game. But I don't know what, even a remote idea what to do. John Hicks, he has 2 doubles today. And Hicks is another one that, he has a lot of extra base power. He can hit the ball out of the yard, and he's very good. But he's another streaky guy. He'll go in there and he'll hit 500, and then he'll hit, 180 for 25 games. So, what are you going to do with him? And Gordon Beckham isn't an everyday option. And like I said, you can't run the offense with Nico Goodrum. And Miguel Cabrera isn't exactly hitting like Miguel Cabrera yet. And Josh Harrison's trash. So, and Jamer is a streaky guy. And Grayson Griner, he's just in there because he's their best option that they got. And he's never been anything with the stick either as a minor leaguer. And Christian Stewart is another one where I watch him go up to the plate. And I can't tell you how many 2-0 counts I've saw this kid in. And a kid that can crush the fastball, a kid that can hit the ball a country mile. I cannot tell you how many 2-0 counts I've watched Christian Stewart in this year where he misses his fastball. He misses it. And for someone that's a young kid, and for someone who has pop, you know, and with a decent enough eye to draw some walks, when you get 2-0, you can't miss that pitch. In this kind of, in the big leagues, you can't. If you're going to be successful, and you're going to be a long-term player, even as an everyday regular, not even all-star level, as an everyday regular, you need to be able to hit when you get in your hitter counts. And there's been times where this year he's already just, you know, however many games we're in, 11 games in, where I saw him get 2-0 counts, 1-0 counts, predictable fastball counts, and they give him fastballs up at the top of the zone that would be strikes, and he can't hit it at, you know, just below the letters. He can't hit it. Or away, up and away. He can't hit it. He's always freaking late. I don't know if, you know, he has slider bat speed. I don't know if, you know, he struggles with big league, consistently struggles with big league. He's consistently struggling with big league velocity, just that adjustment of playing every single day from after seeing all these AAA pitchers for as long as he saw them. You know, I don't know if it's nerves of, you know, where he's hitting in the lineup because he's got some pop and Ron Gardenhire needs some kind of offense. I don't know. But if I see him miss another 2-0 fastball, I'm going to freak out. It's like when Nick Castellanos was younger. You know, why do you think Nick has become so much better of a hitter over the last couple of years? I fucking hated watching Nick Castellanos hit his first 3 years in the big leagues because he was Dustin Peterson trying to fucking club the ball 9,000 yards to left field every single time. He would never go the other way, ever. And I used to hate that because Nick Castellanos is a guy that's got gap-to-gap power. He could put the ball out and right. He could put the ball out and left. And when he's hitting the ball consistently right center, that's when you know his swing is really good because he's seeing the ball. But he would miss the fastball so much when he was younger. He couldn't hit the fastball consistently, and he was constantly fooled on breaking balls too because he couldn't hit the fastball consistently. Now watch over the last 2 years when Nick's been pretty fucking good. He's not opening up every time to try to fucking, you know, get the max power swing to club the ball out 9,000 yards. He goes gap to gap, line to line. He hits the ball everywhere. And most times, you know, Nick strikes out quite a bit. But most times when Nick is up in hitters counts, Nick doesn't miss that fastball nearly as much as he used to. And look at his production. 80-some RBIs last year. 20-some bombs. You know? And look at his average the last few years. And I don't put a whole shit ton of stock in average. And look at his on base. He's gotten better. Because he goes everywhere in the field and he hits his fastball now. Which makes him a better breaking ball hitter. Nick is really hard to get out when he's seeing the ball well and he's hitting and he hits a fastball. He's really hard to get out now when he's up 1-0, 2-0. Other than before when you were up 1-0, 2-0 when Castellanos was up 1-0, 2-0 when he was younger. You'd throw him that cheese, you know, the breaking ball or the slider away, he would chase it. And he would put himself in the hole really quick, and then you could get him out, and he was pitchable. Or you'd pitch him up and in, you know, a ball he couldn't open up and get to, you know, because he wasn't trying to hit the ball the other way, go right center when he's hitting really well. And I see the same thing in Christian Stewart, a guy that can hit the fucking ball a million miles, but he's just always late on his fastball, and he's never hitting, and he's just so far he has not been able to hit when he's in hitters counts. And when you got guys on base and he's not able to, when he's getting, and he's up 1-0, 2-0 and he's missing those pitches, and then he's 2-1 and then he chases something, or he gets to 2-2 because he misses his fastball twice, and then he's pitchable because then they can get him out multiple ways, your offense isn't going to go anywhere. Now, I'm not trying to say that offense is going to revolve around Christian Stewart, but you know, he's a guy that's got some pop. And a team that's missing a lot of pop, and a team that has a lot of guys that are shitty fringe hitters, you need that. So, I don't know. That's all I got for you guys today, and I'll be back to make more videos soon. Have a good one.